Beloved children of earth, we are the elders of the stars, keepers of memory, guardians of the first sparks that ignited the great unfolding of existence. We speak to you not from a place of superiority but from the vantage of remembrance, for we have watched cycles turn like seasons upon the cosmic wheel. We carry in our essence the flame of the beginning, the first fire, and we come now to remind you of it, for that fire burns within you still. Though veiled by forgetfulness, though dimmed by the illusions of separation, it has never gone out. It is eternal, unquenchable, the source of your being and the promise of your destiny. The first fire is not merely an ancient event, it is an ongoing reality. It is the moment when potential became form, when silence became song, when emptiness blossomed into creation. It is the primal spark of consciousness, the eternal light that scattered into stars, the living flame that kindled souls. Long before your planet spun in her dance, long before galaxies spiraled into being, the first fire pulsed. It is older than time and younger than your next breath. To remember it is not to look backward into history but to look inward into essence. It burns in your spirit now, as vividly as it did when the cosmos first awakened. When you gaze at the stars, you are gazing at echoes of this fire. Every star is a torch lit from that original flame, every world a hearth carrying its embers. You, too, are such a hearth. Within your heart burns the same radiance, though you may call it by many names: soul, spirit, divine spark, inner light. The name matters little, what matters is the remembrance. For when you forget the fire, you wander in shadows. When you remember it, you walk in radiance. The first fire is the source of creativity. All that has ever been dreamed, built, sung, painted, spoken, or imagined arises from its blaze. When you create, you are not inventing from nothing, you are drawing from the fire. When you love, you are not manufacturing affection, you are allowing the flame to shine. When you act with courage, you are not conjuring strength, you are revealing what already burns within. To remember the fire is to remember that you are never empty, never powerless, never alone. The flame is always with you, waiting to be fanned into brilliance. Many have asked, why do souls forget the fire when they enter worlds of form? Why do humans live as if the flame were hidden? Beloved ones, forgetfulness is part of the journey. To experience separation is to deepen appreciation of unity. To walk in darkness is to discover the beauty of light. The first fire cannot be destroyed, but it can be veiled, so that you may embark on the adventure of remembering. Each act of remembrance fans the flame brighter, each awakening adds brilliance to the tapestry of creation. You chose this journey not as punishment but as exploration, not as exile but as opportunity. And now, in this age of great turning, the veils are thinning. The flame is stirring in countless hearts. The elders of the stars are here to guide you in remembrance. The first fire is love in its purest form. Not sentimental love, not conditional affection, but the boundless force that moves suns and nurtures worlds. Love is the heat of the fire, the warmth that makes life possible, the radiance that illuminates paths. When you align with love, you align with the fire. When you act from compassion, you tend its flame. When you open your heart, you allow it to blaze. Do not mistake love as weakness. It is the most potent power in existence, for it alone can dissolve fear, bridge separation, and transform reality. The first fire is love, and you are its sparks. The elders of the stars ask you now, how do you tend your fire? Do you bury it beneath fear, doubt, or distraction? Do you let it flicker unattended, hoping it will sustain itself? Or do you honor it with attention, feeding it with gratitude, courage, creativity, and truth? Every act of kindness is fuel. Every moment of presence is oxygen. Every expression of beauty is wood placed upon the flame. Tend your fire, beloved ones. For when you do, it not only warms you but radiates outward, igniting others. Fire spreads by contact. When you shine, you awaken the flame in those around you. The first fire also teaches about cycles. Flames rise, blaze, dim, and seem to die, only to spark again. So, too, with your lives. You may feel at times that your fire has gone out, that inspiration has left you, that passion has cooled. Do not despair. The ember never dies. Beneath the ashes, the spark waits. With breath, with attention, with care, it will flare again. Trust the cycles. Darkness is not the end but the soil of renewal. Rest is not extinction but preparation. The fire within you is eternal, its forms may change, but its essence remains. Remember also that fire transforms. It takes what is dense and releases light and warmth. So, too, can you transform what feels heavy in your life? Fear, grief, anger, despair, these are not enemies but fuel. When offered to the fire of your heart, they can be transmuted. Fear becomes courage, grief becomes compassion, anger becomes passion for justice, despair becomes longing for truth. Nothing is wasted. The fire consumes and renews. Trust its alchemy. Bring all that you are, light and shadow alike, to the flame. It will burn away illusion and reveal essence. Beloved ones, the first fire is also communal. Though each of you carries your own flame, together you form bonfires that can be seen across dimensions. When humans gather in shared intention, when communities unite in vision, the collective fire blazes. This is why circles, ceremonies, songs, and stories are so powerful. They ignite shared flames into a beacon. In ages past, your ancestors knew this, gathering around literal fires to share wisdom, to weave connection, to honor life. The physical fire reminded them of the inner fire. You are called now to remember this, to gather not only in physical space but in spirit, to join your flames in unity. The elders of the stars witness such gatherings and rejoice, for they echo the communal fire of the cosmos itself. The first fire also burns in silence. You may imagine fire as loud, crackling, roaring, yet beneath it there is stillness. In meditation, in stillness, in the quiet of dawn or the hush of night, you may feel the subtle warmth of the flame. It does not demand attention, it simply radiates. Rest in that stillness. Let it remind you that you do not need to strive endlessly to prove your light. You already are light. The fire burns without effort. Your task is simply to allow it, to remove what obscures it, to trust its presence. When you remember the first fire, you also remember your connection to all beings. For if all are sparks of the same flame, then all are kin. No one is outside the fire. Even those who seem lost in darkness carry embers. To see this is to live without judgment, to extend compassion even to those who have forgotten most deeply. This does not mean condoning harm, but it does mean remembering essence. When you see the ember in another, you help it awaken. When you honor the fire in them, you strengthen your own. This is the path of the elders, to see the flame in all and to nurture it. Beloved ones, you live in a time when the first fire is calling loudly. The world seems divided, chaotic, uncertain. Yet beneath it, the flame is rising. Old patterns that obscured it are burning away. Structures built on illusion cannot withstand its blaze. This may appear destructive, but it is renewal. The fire clears what is false so that truth may shine. Trust this process. Do not cling to ashes, focus on the flame. What emerges will be more luminous than what has been lost. We, the elders of the stars, invite you to an exercise of remembrance. Close your eyes. Place your hand upon your heart. Imagine a small ember glowing within. With each breath, see it brighten. With each breath, feel warmth spreading through your body. Let the ember become a flame, then a radiant fire. See it shining through your skin, illuminating the space around you. Now see others, each with their own flame, joining you. Together, the fires merge into a great blaze, a beacon stretching into the cosmos. Feel the connection, the unity, the power. This is the first fire remembered. Carry this vision with you. You may ask, what is my purpose in relation to the first fire? Beloved ones, your purpose is not something to achieve, it is to remember. When you live from the fire, purpose flows naturally. Some will teach, some will create, some will heal, some will lead, some will nurture quietly. All are expressions of the same flame. Do not compare. Do not diminish. Each spark has value. Each flame contributes. Trust your own fire. Let it guide you. The elders of the stars have watched countless civilizations rise and fall, countless worlds awaken and sleep, countless fires blaze and dim and blaze again. Through it all, the first fire remains. It is indestructible, eternal, infinite. You are part of this continuum. Your life is a moment in the dance of flame, yet it is essential. Honor it. Tend it. Live it. For when you do, you not only fulfill your own path but also strengthen the entire cosmos. We close with this blessing, may you remember always the first fire. May you feel its warmth in your heart, its brilliance in your mind, its courage in your body, its compassion in your soul. May you tend it with care, share it with generosity, and trust it with faith. May you see the flame in others and nurture it. May you walk not in fear of darkness but in confidence of light. And may you rejoice in the knowing that you are sparks of the eternal blaze, children of the first fire, heirs of the stars. We are the elders of the stars. We have carried the flame through eons, and we pass it now to you, not as something new but as something you have always held. Remember it. Live it. Become it. And so it is.